if you have high blood pressure? Now, this is a big deal. Let me ask you a question. What if your blood pressure isn't the problem? What if it's only a symptom? Most people are told by their PCP that they have hypertension because they're getting older, or they have bad genetics, or they eat too much sodium. Those things can certainly play a role, but what if there's another possibility that often isn't being looked for? It's just one simple blood test, a fasting insulin level. Today I want to show you why that matters. But before we get started, I'd like to say hi. I'm Dr. Kim, a board-certified naturopathic doctor, and I've been in clinical practice for over 40 years. I review blood work almost every day, and one pattern keeps showing up. People with normal fasting glucose, normal hemoglobin A1C, but fasting insulin that's already climbing. Many of them also have high blood pressure. That's why I made this first in my video series, One Hormone, 7 Diseases, One Hidden Connection. Because if the insulin hormone is contributing to your blood pressure being elevated, you deserve to know that years before type 2 diabetes develops. If you have high blood pressure or you've been told it's starting to creep up, I don't want you to look at that number in isolation. Insulin resistance may be one piece of the picture long before your blood sugar becomes obviously abnormal. Before we go any further, I've created a free 1-minute insulin resistance risk assessment to help you see whether insulin resistance could be part of what's driving your blood pressure up. The link is below. Take it, get your score, and see how many of those metabolic warning signs are showing up for you. I personally read them if you send me an email, and it will help you to understand whether insulin resistance could already be affecting your health. A blood pressure reading tells us one thing. A pattern of metabolic clues tells us much more. So why would insulin affect your blood pressure? Most people think insulin's only job is controlling blood sugar, but it isn't. The insulin hormone is one of the body's major signaling hormones, and when insulin stays elevated for years, it can begin affecting tissues throughout the body. One effect is on your kidneys. Higher insulin levels can encourage your kidneys to hold on to more sodium, and water follows sodium, increasing blood volume. Elevated insulin can also stimulate your body's fight or flight nervous system, called the sympathetic nervous system. And when the sympathetic nervous system stays switched on, blood vessels can become more constricted or tight, and the heart has to work harder to pump blood through the system. And over time, those changes can contribute to high blood pressure in many people. But here's why I think it matters. High blood pressure isn't just dangerous because of the number on your blood pressure cuff. It's dangerous because of what that pressure does to the intima lining of your arteries. Think of your garden hose at home. If you doubled the water pressure every minute of every day, eventually the hose would wear out. Your arteries are no different. They weren't designed to live under excessive pressure year after year. Over time, that constant force can injure the delicate intima lining of your arteries, and your body tries to repair the damage, but repeated injury can contribute to stiffening of the arteries and plaque formation. Now think about where these arteries go. They supply your brain, they supply your heart and your kidneys and your eyes. Every organ your body depends on. That's why uncontrolled high blood pressure increases the risk of stroke, heart disease, kidney disease, vision loss, and other very serious complications. The blood pressure number isn't the disease. It's often a warning sign that something deeper deserves your attention. If this is starting to sound familiar to you, don't just wonder whether insulin resistance could be part of the picture. Take my 1-minute free insulin resistance risk assessment. The link is below. It will help you or a family member identify whether you're showing several of the metabolic warning signs that we're discussing today. And if this is making sense, I'd love to know. Leave me a comment. Have you ever had your fasting insulin tested? I'm always interested in seeing how often people actually have had this important lab measured. Here's the question I wish more people started asking. How do I lower my blood pressure? That's what they ask. But why Is my blood pressure going up in the first place, is what they should be asking. The answer isn't always insulin. There may be other causes of hypertension, but elevated insulin is a major contributor that often goes unnoticed because fasting insulin isn't routinely measured during standard blood work. If we never look for it, we never know whether it's part of the overall picture. And that's why I encourage people to know more than just their blood pressure. Know your fasting glucose, know your fasting hemoglobin A1C, and know your fasting insulin. Those three numbers reviewed together can tell much more complete of a story about your metabolic health than fasting blood sugar can alone. Again, if you'd like to know whether insulin resistance could already be affecting your health, start with my free 1-minute insulin resistance assessment. It's in the description below. If you'd like help understanding your results of your blood work, you can also schedule a coaching call with me using the second link. And if these videos help you understand your health in a way no one else has explained it, please join my email list, subscribe, hit the bell button. I'll begin sharing every week practical information with you through email, and I'll help you to recognize your problems earlier and make more informed decisions about your health. In another video I'm creating, we'll look at another disease that may have the same hidden connection, which is heart disease. High blood pressure isn't just a number to treat. It may be a clue that elevated insulin is part of the underlying story.